Thank you for the opportunity to be here this morning. Leticia Perez. I'm a supervisor in Kern County. This is my second term in Kern. Prior to becoming a supervisor, and in my former life, I was a deputy public defender for several years in Kern County. And as a public defender, the number one question I ever got from a client was, hands down, Ms. Perez, can you help me get a job? And the truth was that I was looking at somebody 9 times out of 10 who was really had a skills gap that was so profound, that was so ill-equipped to compete at the most basic levels of any economy in California. The answer was really, frankly, no. And there really wasn't anything that I felt that I could do about that. As a public defender, and after 3 years and thousands of cases, I walked away from that job rather brokenhearted because I did not feel that the system that I was in had the capacity, had the ability, had even the know-how to begin the process of picking up the pieces of this system that is so grossly broken, so profoundly tragic, that to even begin the process is one in which it was so baffling for me, I couldn't even wrap my head around it. So as a supervisor, and as my opportunity to serve at the CCP in Kern County, which I have done now for half a decade, it has been a remarkable privilege to be on the cutting edge of criminal justice reform on behalf of Governor Brown, as he has appointed me to the BSCC, and I serve there bringing a defense perspective and a public defender and a sort of poverty angle to that body, and it has been incredibly rewarding, particularly because in the last year and a half, I, along with 19 other Californians, regular, everyday people, 1/3 of whom are formerly incarcerated, were folks that were able to develop the RFP, identify our standards, and really be on the front lines of criminal justice reform in a way that has made my old experience much more meaningful and sort of full circle, if you will. What we have learned and what I saw and experienced in the last year and a half of addressing Prop 47 dollars, monies that you have provided to this body to be in the most progressive place of criminal justice reform. What I saw was a body of people, regular Californians, 1/3 of who are formerly incarcerated, who demanded that at least 50% of these dollars be passed through local CBOs, folks that are on the ground floor of actually impacting lives and helping people transition out of the criminal justice system. That was an absolute necessity for 19 Californians that went through a rigorous application process to then be part of the process of handing out dollars to change this system once and for all at the ground level. That has been incredibly meaningful. It has been impactful because what I have learned and what I have seen every day for the last 10 years of my experience in the criminal justice system is that the capacity at the local level, the ability to truly transform the lives of individuals who are trapped in this system, takes a kind of expertise, it takes a kind of martyrdom, if you will, at the local level that I have not seen present in our local government. It is not commonplace. It is not what our local government does as a trade and custom. It is designed for different things. It has different requirements and priorities. And so I am here to implore you to think very seriously, please, about the impact to community-based organizations and the folks that are in our communities that are killing themselves with very little dollars in order to do and develop and create a capacity within the community that is not present in Kern County or hasn't been, slowly developing, and that I have learned through the last year and a half is also the case throughout all of California. So much so that these 19 Californians, 1/3 formerly incarcerated, really demanded that the CBOs be on the front line of directing this policy process. I believe that. I've lived it. I've seen it. I love our county employees. I love the people who are presenting this bill to you because I believe they're well-intended and I know they're good people. But the impacts of this kind of paradigm in policy, I think, are potentially disastrous for the areas of policy development that we are seeking desperately to not just maximize the dollar, but capitalize on a kind of expertise at the local level that is so necessary to make these transitions and to do them effectively. So I come here sincerely, honestly, asking you and imploring you to please reconsider your positions on this bill. I implore you to vote no. Because I do not believe it is the right paradigm and approach at policy development on issues of criminal justice reform, for example, one in which I have a particular expertise. And I ask you to please seriously consider my perspective. And I so greatly appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.